He opened it. What he saw made his legs weak. The coffin was filled with money. Not some money. A lot of money. Bundles of cash stacked on each other. More money than he had ever seen in his entire life. Different currencies. Different notes. The coffin was full. He started putting the money into the bag. He filled one side. Then another. But the coffin still looked full. He kept packing. The bag became heavy. Still, the money remained. It felt endless. He stopped. He stared at the coffin. Then an idea came. A dangerous idea. If the money would not finish, why take small amounts? Why not take everything? He touched the coffin. He expected it to be heavy. It was not. He lifted it. Easily. Let's go back to how it all started and how he found this coffin. Goji was 25 years old. He was born and raised in a small village in Nigeria. The village was quiet. Not beautiful, not ugly. Just a place where people live because that was where life put them. Goji came from a family of 5. There was his father, his mother, his older brother, his younger sister, and Goji himself. They were not rich. They were not completely poor either. They were the kind of family that survived. Food came, but not in excess. Clothes were clean, but old. Money entered the house, but it never stayed long. There was no luxury in Goji's home. No television that worked all the time. No generator. No car. If something broke, it stayed broken. Goji's father worked hard. He farmed and did small jobs when he could. Some days he came home tired. Some days he came home worried. Goji's mother sold things in the local market. Small things. Food items. She stood for hours under the sun. Sometimes she sold everything. Sometimes she came back with almost nothing. Money was always a topic in the house. Not spoken loudly, but always there. School fees was a problem. Medical bills were a problem. Everything required careful planning. As Goji grew older, he started to notice something. Nothing changed. Every year looked like the one before it. The same houses. The same faces. The same complaints. Older men sat under trees and talked about what could have been. Some of them once left the village and came back with nothing. Some never left at all. Goji watched them closely. He listened when they talked. He noticed the tiredness in their voices. Slowly, a fear began to grow inside him. It was not the fear of hunger. He already knew hunger. It was the fear of being stuck. Goji did not want to wake up at 40 years old and realize that his life never moved forward. At night, when the village became quiet, Goji would sit outside. He would look into the darkness and think. He asked himself difficult questions. If I stay here, what will my life become? If I remain, will anything ever change? If I leave, can I make something out of myself? The answer scared him. But staying scared him more. The city became his hope. Not because he believed it was easy, but because it was different. Goji knew the city was hard. He had heard stories. Young men sleeping under bridges. Young men doing dirty jobs. Young men getting lost. Still, he wanted to try. He did not want comfort. He wanted a chance. When Goji told his parents about his decision, the house became quiet. His mother cried. She told him the city swallows people. She told him he was better off staying close to family. His father did not shout. He did not argue. Later that night, his father called him aside. He spoke slowly. He told Goji that life in the village would keep him alive, but it would not give him much. He told him that living was dangerous, but it was also brave. Then he said something Goji never forgot. Go and try. But remember where you come from. That was all. Goji left the village with a small bag. 2 shirts. 1 pair of trousers. 1 worn shoe. The money he carried could barely last a few days. When he got to the city, the noise hit him first. Cars. Voices. Movement everywhere. People walked fast. Nobody waited for anyone. At first, Goji felt excited. Then reality settled in. The city did not care about Goji. No one asked where he came from. No one asked what he wanted. If you had something to offer, you survived. If you did not, you struggled. Goji struggled. He slept in places he never imagined. Cold floors. Open spaces. He washed cars for strangers. He cleaned shops early in the morning. He carried heavy loads. Some people paid him well. Some cheated him. Some days he ate once. Some days he slept hungry. But Goji refused to go back. Going back meant returning with nothing. It meant shame. So he endured. One afternoon, while walking around looking for work, a shop owner noticed him. The man asked if Goji could clean the shop. Goji agreed immediately. He cleaned that shop carefully. He did not rush. He cleaned every corner. When he finished, the shop looked different. The man was impressed. He paid Goji. Then he asked him questions. Where are you from? Do you work hard? Are you honest? Goji answered simply. A few days later, the man called him. He told Goji about a cleaning job at a big house. A very big house. A mansion. Goji did not understand what that truly meant until he arrived there. The house was massive. Tall gates. Security everywhere. Cars lined up neatly. Goji felt small standing there. The owner of the house was a powerful man. Very wealthy. Well respected. Goji was hired. His job was to clean the house every day. He was given a small room inside the compound to stay. It was not much, but it was safe. For Goji, it felt like a new beginning. Every day, he cleaned rooms larger than his entire family house. He saw things he had never seen before. Expensive furniture. Shiny floors. Luxury everywhere. He worked quietly. He minded his business. But there was one thing that stood out. One room in the mansion was always locked. Goji was allowed to clean every other room. But never that one. No one talked about it. One day, while cleaning nearby, Goji saw the rich man walk toward that room. The man stopped. Typed a password. The door opened. Goji was not trying to spy. But he saw it. That moment stayed in his mind. He did not know it yet, but something had begun. Something that would change his life forever. After Goji saw the rich man enter the locked room, something changed inside him. Before that day, Goji worked without thinking too much. He woke up early. He cleaned. He rested. He slept. His life had a routine. But now, there was a question in his mind. What was inside that room? At first, he tried to ignore it. He told himself it was none of his business. He reminded himself that this job saved him from sleeping outside. He reminded himself that curiosity could destroy good things. So he focused on his work. But the room did not leave his thoughts. Each time he passed the door, he slowed down. Each time he wiped the floor near it, his eyes moved toward the handle. The door was always clean. Always untouched. It stood there like it was hiding something. Goji began to notice patterns. The rich man never allowed anyone near that room. Not the guards. Not the other workers. Only him. Sometimes, the man would enter the room late at night. Sometimes early in the morning. He always made sure no one was watching. That alone made the room heavier in Goji's mind. At night, Goji would lie on his small bed and stare at the ceiling. He thought about his family. He thought about his parents still struggling. He thought about his brother and sister trying to survive. Then he thought about the room. He asked himself questions. What kind of room needs so much secrecy? What is so important that nobody must see it? Days passed. Weeks passed. Goji's curiosity grew quietly. He did not talk about it with anyone. He did not ask questions. But his eyes were always open. One afternoon, something happened that pushed his curiosity further. Goji was cleaning close to the locked room when the rich man arrived suddenly. The man did not notice Goji at first. He walked straight to the door. Goji pretended to focus on the floor. From the corner of his eye, he watched. The rich man typed the password slowly. The door opened. For a brief moment, Goji saw inside. It was dark. Very dark. He did not see much. Just shadows. Then the door closed. That night, Goji could not sleep. The image stayed in his head. He started imagining things. Gold. Documents. Secrets. He told himself to stop. But curiosity is not something you can command easily. One morning, the rich man left the house early. Very early. The guards were busy outside. Other workers were occupied. Goji found himself standing alone in the hallway. The locked room was quiet. The house was quiet. His heart started beating fast. He stood there for a long time. He could hear his own breathing. Goji told himself to walk away. He told himself to go and clean somewhere else. But his feet did not move. Then something else happened. He remembered the password. He did not try to remember it. It just stayed in his head. His fingers felt cold. Slowly, he walked toward the door. He looked around. No one was watching. He stood in front of the door. He hesitated. This is wrong, he thought. But his hand still moved. He typed the password. The door opened. For a moment, Goji could not move. The room was quiet. No sound. No smell. He stepped inside. The room was not big. It was simple. There were no chairs. No tables. Just one thing in the middle of the room. A coffin. Goji froze. He stared at it. It was a normal coffin. Not decorated. Not fancy. Just a coffin. His heart beat harder. He did not understand. Why would a living man keep a coffin in a locked room? Goji walked closer. Slowly. His hands were shaking. He stood beside the coffin. He bent down. He opened it. What he saw made his legs weak. The coffin was filled with money. Not some money. A lot of money. Bundles of cash stacked on each other. More money than Goji had ever seen in his entire life. Different currencies. Different notes. The coffin was full. Goji felt dizzy. His mouth opened, but no sound came out. His mind went blank. This money could change everything. He imagined his mother never worrying again. He imagined his father resting. He imagined himself living a different life. For a moment, he forgot where he was. Then fear hit him. Goji quickly closed the coffin. He stepped back. This is not my business, he whispered to himself. He looked around the room. Nothing else. Just the coffin. He locked the door and walked away. His hands were still shaking. For the rest of the day, Goji worked like a machine. He did not think. He did not speak. But his mind was not at peace. That night, sleep refused to come. The image of the coffin kept returning. He started thinking deeply. Why money in a coffin? Why hide it like that? The thought scared him. But the money tempted him even more. Days passed. Goji avoided the door. He tried to distract himself with work. But temptation does not disappear because you ignore it. It waits. Slowly, his thoughts changed. At first, he told himself he would never touch the money. Then he told himself he would just take a little. Then he told himself the rich man would not notice. Greed did not come suddenly. It came slowly. One thought at a time. Goji began to plan. He watched the house carefully. He learned everyone's routine. He knew when the rich man was away. He knew when the guards relaxed. He waited patiently. One day, the opportunity came. The rich man traveled. Most workers were busy. Goji entered the room again. This time, he came with a large bag. His heart was beating fast. He opened the coffin. The money looked the same. Plenty. He started putting the money into the bag. He filled one side. Then another. But the coffin still looked full. He kept packing. The bag became heavy. Still, the money remained. It felt endless. Goji stopped. He stared at the coffin. Then an idea came. A dangerous idea. If the money would not finish, why take small amounts? Why not take everything? He touched the coffin. He expected it to be heavy. It was not. He lifted it. Easily. That surprised him. Carefully, he placed it on his head. He walked slowly. Step by step. No one noticed. He carried the coffin outside the mansion. He walked into a nearby bush. He hid it well. Goji stood there breathing heavily. He did not smile. He did not celebrate. He just stood there. He had crossed a line. He did not know what would follow. But he knew one thing. His life would never be the same again. After Goji hid the coffin in the bush, he did not return to the mansion that night. He waited. He sat quietly in his small room, listening to every sound. His heart was beating fast, but his body felt weak. He kept asking himself one question. What have I done? Morning came. Nothing happened. No alarm. No shouting. No police. Goji went to work like every other day. He cleaned the house. He greeted people normally. No one suspected anything. The locked room remained locked. The rich man was still away. Slowly, Goji began to breathe again. That night, he went back to the bush. The coffin was still there. Untouched. Goji opened it and took some bundles of money. Just some. He wrapped them carefully and left. He did not rush. He did not tell anyone. Goji rented a small place far from the mansion. A quiet place. He used it only at night. He kept the money there. At first, Goji was careful. Very careful. He did not change his lifestyle suddenly. He still wore simple clothes. He still walked. But inside him, something had changed. For the first time in his life, Goji was not afraid of tomorrow. He started helping his family. He sent money home. Not too much. Just enough to ease their struggles. His mother was surprised. His father asked questions. Goji told them he was doing better in the city. That was not a lie. Soon, he started spending more. He bought better clothes. Better shoes. He moved into a nicer apartment. Then came the car. Then came the parties. Goji tasted a life he never imagined. People noticed him. Friends appeared. Girls appeared. Everyone wanted to be close to him. Money opened doors. Goji enjoyed it. He told himself he deserved it. He had suffered. He had worked hard. Why should he not enjoy life? But something else was growing quietly. Fear. Every time he spent money, he remembered the coffin. Every time he smiled, a small voice whispered in his head. This money is not normal. He ignored the voice. Then the first death happened. It was his father. The news came suddenly. His father fell sick and died shortly after. Goji was shocked. He traveled home for the burial. He cried. People comforted him. They said it was life. They said it was God's will. Goji accepted it. He told himself death happens. He returned to the city and continued his life. More money. More enjoyment. Then his older brother died. An accident. Unexpected. Goji felt something break inside him. 2 deaths. Too close. Still, he tried to stay strong. Then his younger sister died. Suddenly. No long sickness. Just gone. That was when fear took over Goji completely. This was not normal. People around him were dying. People connected to him. He stopped sleeping well. He stopped enjoying the money. Then a girl he was involved with died. That was the final blow. Goji knew. This was not coincidence. He knew the money was the problem. The money came from a coffin. Money meant for the dead. Goji panicked. He decided to return everything. He went back to the bush. He tried to lift the coffin. It did not move. He pushed it. Nothing. The same coffin that felt light before was now impossible to move. Goji cried. He begged. He promised to return everything. Nothing worked. He ran back to the mansion. He met the rich man. He confessed everything. He said he stole the money. He said people were dying. He begged for forgiveness. The rich man looked at him. Then said something that crushed Goji. I do not know you. He ordered Goji out. Security chased him away. Goji was alone. Lost. Surrounded by money that brought only death. He wanted one thing. For the deaths to stop. But he did not know how. After Goji was chased away from the mansion, he wandered the streets like a lost man. He did not know where to go. The city that once gave him hope now felt cold. He had money. Plenty of it. But the money no longer meant anything. Every face he saw reminded him of someone he had lost. His father. His brother. His sister. The girl who once laughed with him. Goji stopped spending. He locked himself indoors. At night, he heard sounds in his dreams. Voices calling his name. Coffin lids closing. He became thin. Quiet. Afraid. He went back to the bush again and again. Each time, he tried to move the coffin. Each time, it refused. It was like the ground had swallowed it. One night, Goji fell to his knees beside it. He cried. Not small tears. Real tears. He begged. He promised to return every single note. He promised to live poor for the rest of his life. Nothing changed. That night, something happened. An old man appeared. Goji did not hear him approach. The man's voice was calm. He told Goji to stop crying. Goji was afraid, but he listened. The old man spoke slowly. He said the money in the coffin did not belong to the living. It was wealth buried with the dead, taken through dark means. Anyone who touched it would pay with blood. Not their own blood. The blood of people close to them. Goji shook. He asked how to stop it. The old man looked at him and said something Goji would never forget. You cannot return what you took, but you can choose what remains. The old man told Goji to gather all the money he still had. Not to hide it. Not to enjoy it. To give it away. To people who had nothing. To people with no connection to him. And then, to walk away. Never to look back. When Goji raised his head, the old man was gone. Goji did not sleep that night. In the morning, he started. He gave money to strangers, widows, orphans, sick people. He did not give his name. He did not stay. He sold everything he owned. The cars, the houses, the clothes. He emptied every place where the money was kept. When nothing remained, he returned to the bush one last time. The coffin was gone. Only bare ground remained. No sound. No sign. From that day, the death stopped. But Goji was never the same. He left the city. He returned to the village quietly. He built a small life. He worked. He helped where he could. He never married. He never chased wealth again. Those who knew him said he was a good man. But they also said he was always distant. Like someone who had seen too much. Goji lived with his memories. And the lesson stayed. Some money is not meant to be touched. Some wealth comes with a cost greater than life itself. And once you pay that price, there is no refund.